Okay, so in this question, it says a 10 kilogram block is held motionless on a frictionless table and is connected to a 5 kilogram block by a string. The 5 kilogram block is suspended over a light frictionless pulley to hang over the sides of a table as shown in the image below. Assume the acceleration due to gravity is 10 meters per second squared. Question for this problem is 1. Describe in your own words the motion of the two blocks when the 10 kilogram block is released and allowed to move freely. Second question is determine the acceleration of the blocks. And the third question is what is the tension of the string in the string? So let's first analyze our diagram given. We have, firstly, you can see the 10 kilogram block sitting flat on top. This is a table. We have the pulley. This blue circular object is the pulley. The pulley is allowed to spin and rotate freely. This is the edge of the table, of course. And we have our 5 kilogram block hanging over the side of the table. So if we analyze this, what will happen? So the first question is, describe in your own words the motion of the two blocks when the 10 kilogram block, in this case, the 10 kilogram block, we will now use this diagram. So the 10 kilogram block is actually on top of the table. So I want to know what will happen to the motions of the two blocks when the 10 kilogram block is released and allowed to move freely. So if we look at this, you can see if this block is allowed to move freely, therefore this block as well will allow to move freely, and it will cause the 5 kilogram block to move downwards and a 10 kilogram block to move towards the right side. So to put this in words, so this is question 1, we can say that the 5 kilogram block will accelerate. It will cause the 5 kilogram block to accelerate downwards. So the 5 kilogram block will accelerate downwards, and what will happen to the 10 kilogram block? The 10 kilogram block, as mentioned, it will move towards the right side. So the 10 kilogram block will move to the right side. With the same acceleration. Okay, so take note of that. Both of these blocks will move at the same acceleration once the 10 kilogram block is released. So this is the answer I will put for the first question. If you guys have any other answers, you can let me know below in the comments. So that covers our first question. The second question says, determine the acceleration of the blocks. So let's use a new page and let's use a green. So you want to determine the acceleration of a block. So we know that force is equals to mass times acceleration. We want to determine the acceleration. Therefore, it's going to be acceleration is equals to force divided by mass. Now, if we treat the two blocks as a one system, so assuming that these two blocks is one system, so let's assume these two blocks are one system, the resultant downward force is provided by the weight of the 5 kilogram block. Hope you guys understand that. So if you treat this as one system, the acceleration caused will be due to the weight of this block, the weight of the 5 kilogram block that's acting downwards. Now, if we combine both of these forces, that will give us the system we treat as one. So in this case, as mentioned, acceleration equals force over mass, which is equals to, and the force in this case will be the force due to the 5 kilogram. So it will be forces the mass, just 5 times. And note that the question says due to gravity, the gravity is 10 meters per second squared. So we need to convert this into newtons. So it will be 5 times 10 divided by, and the mass in this case will be, as we said, we will combine both of these blocks. So it will be 10, the 10 kilogram block plus this 5 kilogram block. So it will be 10 plus 5, 50, 5 by 15. In this case, once you plug this into your calculator, you will definitely get 3.3. Okay, so this is actually the answer for our second question. So it's acceleration equals 3.3, and the units for this will be meters per second squared. So this is our second question, and this is the answer for our second question. So we have covered the first question, the second, now the third question. The third question says, what is the tension of the string? So once again, if we analyze our diagram, we want to determine the tension of the string. The tension of the string. So what you can do is we can consider instead the 10 kilogram block mass alone. So let's consider only the 10 kilograms. So let's separate this. So let's use this as the table. So let's assume that this is the table and this is the 10 kilogram block. 10 kilogram block on top of the table. And there's a string towards the right side. And this will be the tension acting, because the block will tend to move towards the right side and this will tend to move towards a downwards direction. And that is why the tension will act towards this direction. So we considered the 10 kilogram mass alone, and the resultant force is given by the tension of the string. So we want to determine tension, T. So we know that force is equal to mass by acceleration. Therefore, tension will equal to mass acceleration as well. So therefore, in this case, the mass is 10 kilogram. So it's 10 kilogram times, and we just found the acceleration. So the acceleration is 3.3. So we can plug this in now, 3.3. And once you calculate this, you will definitely get, so it's 10 times 3.3, you will definitely get 33 newtons. And that's the tension on the string. So this is actually the third answer.